Chapter 37, Devon, Wednesday. We get to Terrell's at around 4 o'clock. The entire drive back, Chiamaka wouldn't shut up about how excited she is about tomorrow and everything we now have in store for Nevaeh, with his new plan the journalist came up with. A plan she has full confidence in. The meeting made her feel more secure in the idea that we stand a chance. It made my doubts even worse. The plan is complicated and risky. I don't want to put my trust in something so dangerous. But even if I decide not to join in, she'll still go through with it. And I can't let her do that alone. She might get herself killed. I don't think I could live with myself if I knew I could have prevented it in some way. We were originally going to go back to Chiamaka's place, but I told her I wanted to be dropped off at Terrell's and she agreed. Told me she wanted to tell him about the plan and how successful today was, in her opinion. Weirdly, they seemed to get along. Terrell's bright red door looks gloomier in the rain. I can hear Terrell moving about inside. The lock sounds as the door opens wide. Terrell is standing there in his gray jogging pants, a Black Panther shirt, and his signature dimples. Come in. We can go up to my room, Terrell says as Chiamaka steps in, immediately climbing the steps. Hey, Terrell says with a smile. Hi, I say, smiling back at him. Did it all go okay at the news station? He asks. I shrug. Chiamaka's happy. As if on cue, Chiamaka is shouting, Are you guys coming or not? We better go up, Terrell says, and I nod, following him up to his room. When we get inside, Chiamaka is seated on his bed, scrolling through her phone, so I sit next to her. When Terrell walks in, he sits opposite us, on the chair next to his desk. How'd it go? He asks. It went well. We have a solid plan. I know it's going to work. I can just feel it, she says. She seems so certain, almost naively so. But then again, she is smart, and she is apparently the rational one. So maybe if I'm wrong. So, what's the plan? Terrell asks, swiveling the chair side to side with his foot. Nevaeh has a snowflake ball they hold for seniors. They invite their donors, important representatives from top colleges. It's a chance to prove yourself, Chiamaka says, trailing off at the end, voice growing quiet. We're going to crash it, she adds after a moment's pause. Crash it? You're going back to Nevaeh after everything? Terrell asks, eyebrows raised. Maybe he'll see how dangerous this plan sounds, and back me up for once. The journalists and her team will be crashing too, filming it all. I'm going to tell the cameras what Nevaeh has done, and it's going to be broadcast across America. Holy shit, that's genius, Terrell says. Right? Chiamaka replies. Okay, so they've both clearly lost their ability to summon common sense. There's no point in arguing. Tomorrow's happening whether I think it makes sense or not. I need to get home and plan for the big event, Chiamaka says, pushing herself off the bed. Do you have a dress? I ask. She looks offended. What am I? Of course I have a dress. I picked my ball gown out before we went on summer break last year. Do you have a tux? I shake my head. You can come over to my place before the ball tomorrow. My dad has tuxes he hasn't worn. You guys have a similar build. Small, bony. Something in his closet should fit you. Thanks, I say, not sure whether or not to be offended by that description of me. You sure you don't want to stay over? My mom's at my sister's place until Saturday. I could build you a fort out of my spare sheets to sleep in or something, Terrell says. That's so sweet of you, but in the nicest way possible. I'd rather die than sleep here. In a fort? So, no thanks, Chiamaka says. Terrell nods like she didn't just insult his home. I'll walk you out. See you tomorrow, Chiamaka says. I mutter a goodbye and then they both disappear through the door. I can hear them shuffling downstairs. Chiamaka laughs at something Terrell says and I hear the door slam shut. Terrell's walking in again moments later. You good? He asks, before falling back into the chair. I'm not sure, I say. Is it the plan tomorrow? Partly. I think I'm just in shock. There's so much I'm trying to deal with at once. Like? Terrell asks. I sit back, feeling heavy. I feel like I have no closure. Even if tomorrow goes well, there are people who I've known for years, been friendly with, who I still want answers from. I'm so angry. I'm not being completely honest. It isn't people, just one person I'm angry with, really. So, get your closure, Terrell asks. How? I ask. Terrell slides forward in his desk chair, stopping inches away from me. If these people meant a lot to you, tell them how much they fucked up. Let them hear how you feel, he says softly. I nod. I need to confront Jack somehow. You give good advice, I tell him. Thank you, quick, Terrell says. Meow. The sound startles me, and my eyes dart around the room for the devil incarnate. Meow. Meow. The cat crosses the floor of Terrell's bedroom, seemingly appearing from the shadows, and curls up next to his feet. I give it the evils. Hey, BS, Terrell says in a cutesy voice. I'm going to head home now, I think, I say, standing. Terrell looks up while stroking his cat with one hand. Let me walk you out. He walks me to the door and gives me a big goodbye hug. I hug him back tightly. Tell me how it goes tomorrow, he says as he lets go. I nod, promising him that I will. Like this morning, I spent most of the evening in my room, zoned out, thinking about how shitty the world is. Thinking about Jack and how he was the one constant I had in my life. I'm curled up on my bed, head buried in between my knees, trying to calm down, not feel so lost and out of control. I try to drown, but it doesn't seem to work anymore. I can't get my head below the surface. Something is keeping me afloat, forcing me to deal with the thoughts I usually keep locked away. Someone with the key has broken in and unlocked Pandora's box. I keep wondering why Jack would do this, why he joined in. Why, after everything we've been through, did he want to hurt me so bad? Terrell is right. I need to go and get closure. I sniff and reach out for my phone on my nightstand. It's only 11. I put my phone into the pocket of Terrell's alien hoodie. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm slipping into my sneakers, creeping out of my room, down the stairs, and out of the house, making sure to close the door gently. Ma is a light sleeper, and on the rare occasions I sneak out, I need to make little to no noise. Our neighborhood is never all that quiet at night. There's always guys doing shady stuff in corners, loud music, and the occasional sound of firing into the sky. Jack's uncle lives in the part of our neighborhood Ma never liked me going to, but because it was Jack and I'd known him forever, she allowed it. Sometimes when I couldn't sleep or got bored at night and Dre was busy, I'd go to Jack's. There's a gap at the side of his house, and if you walk through, you find yourself in his backyard. Jack's bedroom is on the first floor, and he has this huge glass door that you can see into. Like I expected, the lights are on. He's seated on the floor doing homework, eyes focused on the pages. I remember when we were trying to get into Nevaeh's, Jack wanted to prove himself and his brothers that they were more than this place, this neighborhood, this life. I wanted to go somewhere I wouldn't get beat up all the time. We stayed up until 3 o'clock sometimes, testing each other, trying to get into the school that was meant to change everything for us. I think that was the closest we'd ever been. I feel tears tickle my chin as the memory floats above the noise, and I wipe my face with the back of my hand. I used to come here, knock on Jack's door, and he'd let me in. We'd play video games or talk about stuff we wouldn't say to other people. Sometimes we'd argue over stupid things, like the world being flat. Jack would say, "What if we'd just been made to think it's not?" And I'd tell him he was stupid. Even planes flying around the earth proves the world isn't flat. Then he'd say, in all seriousness, "Pac-Man theory. Maybe the planes just start again from the same point." And I'd burst out laughing, tears streaming down my face, a stomach-aching kind of laughter. Other times, we talk about serious stuff. Some days, breathing is really fucking hard. I feel overwhelmed by it. You know? Jack would say, and I'd nod, because I did know. Jack hasn't exactly won the lottery in life either. His parents are gone. His uncle is a drunk. He practically races his brothers. He'd shake his head, hitting the buttons on the game controller, his eyes glassy as he breathed out, cheeks stained. "But I have to keep going, for my brothers," he'd whisper. "I don't have a choice." Days like that, I'd put down the game controller and pat his back. Sometimes he'd pause the game and we'd forget about the world and the unspoken rules about boys not being allowed to talk about things that bother us or hug each other, and he'd rest his head on my shoulder and cry. This was all before things changed, before I came out to him, before I started dating Scotty. There was time when I thought we'd always be there for each other. The words from Computer 17 stabbed my thoughts. His name in bold. Distribution of DR's messages. I sniff, looking up at the sky, trying to stop more tears from falling. I wipe my face with my sleeve and then, like I've done so many times before, I knock. Jack's head whips around and he squints, recognition slowly bleeding into his features. His eyes widen, like he's seen a ghost. I watch him watch me for a few moments, unmoving, like he's waiting for me to break in and hurt him. Then, slowly, he stands. He's wearing a black shirt and shorts. I swallow the lump in my throat as he slides the door open. I don't move. I look at him, not bothering to wipe the tears from my face anymore. "What do you want?" he asks, voice low. I know about Nevaeh. Silence. His skin is pale and blotchy as he always looks. Away. What about them? You know what. I know about Aces, and all the shit you've done to me. Jack shifts a little, eyes still avoiding mine. I have work to do. He tries to close the door, but I block him with my body. When you had no one, I was there for you, Jack. When you wanted to try and get into Nevaeh too, my mom paid for us to sit for those tests. She fed you, made sure you were okay, because she loves you like you're her own son. Then you stopped coming over, and that was okay. She was working all the time anyway. She hardly noticed. I choke out and cry, and I can't stop. Jack's just staring at me blankly, like he wants to be anywhere but here right now. What did I ever do to you for you to hate me this much? Jack sniffs, not saying anything at first. Then it pours out. I work hard for everything I get. You'd still get in with affirmative action or whatever scholarship they give to you guys, while I have to work twice as hard. He shakes his head, wiping his eyes. I didn't ruin your life. He says this like he's reciting some bigoted script that was fed to him. Says it like he's remembering lines he doesn't quite get, but believes in anyway. That's not how life works, Jack. I don't just get given things. For you to say that is just... It shows you don't know me at all. I want to tell him that people like him, boys with white skin, they never work twice as hard. Boys like him don't have to carry the weight of generations and generations of hate and discrimination. But I don't know how to even begin explaining that. Me getting that scholarship doesn't mean I didn't work for it. It means I did, and I needed just to continue working twice as hard as everyone else. And anyway, the scholarship was a curse in disguise. It brought me in, made me think I could dream and actually break the cycle, but then destroyed everything in my life, bit by bit. It was a poisoned chalice, good at first, but slowly ate away at me until I was nothing but bits of flesh and marred bone. And you did ruin everything. I can't go back to high school. I can't graduate. I can't do anything. You knew, for God knows how long, and you fucking helped them, I shout. What did I do to you that was so bad? You were my best friend. I loved you. Jack is looking away again, fingers gripping the glass, knuckles turning white. You should go, he says. I shake my head. No, you don't get to do that, I say, stepping forward as Jack tries to close the door again. I can feel the glass against my shoulder, crushing me. When he realizes I won't budge, he pushes me back and I stumble slightly, stunned for a few seconds before I push him back, stepping in now. Leave, he says, chest heaving. I look at him and I think about how we don't know the people we think we know at all. How people who are meant to love you, leave you. Like Jack, my pa, Andre. I can feel my fingers shaking, insides rattling, as I think of how many people leave and keep leaving. Like there was something wrong with me. Like I'm not good enough. Jack knew how much my ma struggled, and he watched, knowing this would all happen. Before I can calm down and think about the consequences of what I want to do to him, I'm pushing him again, and he's staggering back. Now I'm punching him, and he isn't fighting back. He's letting me hit him over and over, until my knuckles ache and his face is bleeding. My eyes blur as his face becomes splotches of white, purple, and blue. We're both crying. Jack's on the floor, and I'm on top of him. There's a knock on his door, and I look up. Jack, is everything good in there? His uncle says. I quickly stand, moving away from his body. Jack looks up at me, and turns away. Yeah, he croaks. Everything's good. Without saying anything else to him, I turn around, and for the last time, slide his door open and stumble into the night. Thursday. I'm woken up the next day by my phone ringing. It's bright outside. My bed is empty. No signs of my brothers anywhere. My hand is sore, knuckles bruised. I'm a little surprised I slept at all. It's like all I needed to get a good night's sleep was to finally confront Jack. I reach out for my phone. 3 missed calls from Chiamaka. Why the hell is she calling me? What time is it? I glance at the time and I bolt up. It's already past 2. How long was I asleep for? Ma usually wakes me up if I look like I'm about to oversleep, especially on a school day. Why didn't she? My phone rings again. I rub the sleep out of my eyes and accept the call from Chiamaka. Where are you? I've been texting you all morning, she says, her voice only slightly raised. I overslept. Sorry. I expect her to shout at me or dish out an insult, but instead she says, That's okay. When do we get here? I started getting ready. The event isn't for a few hours, but it's best if you get here quickly so I can see if my dad's suits fit. If they don't, I'll have to call an emergency tailor, she says. Someone outside the Nevaeh bubble might have thought she was being sarcastic, But from dating Scotty, I know things like emergency tailors actually exist, and they're on speed dial after 911. I'll be there in an hour, I say, trying to hold back a yawn. How am I still tired? Okay, see you soon then, she says. See you, I say before the line goes dead. I scroll for any messages from my mom, explaining why for the first time in years she's let me stay home instead of going to school, but there are none. I decide to send her a message anyway. I love you, Ma. I know she won't see it until she's on her break, which should be any time now, but I need to tell her before the suicide mission. I throw my phone down, shower, and grab my backpack before leaving. As I leave, I plug my headphones in and classical music fills my ears, one of Chopin's pieces, and I refresh mine in Ma's chat. Still nothing. I try not to feel guilty about keeping so much from her. I exit the chat and look for another app to get lost in while I walk to Chiamaka's. I click on Twitter, scrolling down the timeline slowly. I mostly follow college admission pages and the odd celebrity, so there's not much to see until I see my tweet from yesterday. I don't know what I was thinking about posting it. I scroll down, but stop short when I see the numbers underneath my tweet. I slow down my pace and click onto the tweet, just to double check that the figures are right. 24,000 likes. Holy shit. There are people in the comments talking about how messed up it is, tagging other people, telling me I'm not alone. I don't check my socials often, don't have my notifications on for them. They usually just sit in my phone, taking up storage space, with no other purpose but to occasionally like a tweet from an admissions page. I have messages from so many people. This is weird. I click on one of the messages. At Nina K77. This is so fucked up. I hope you report them to someone. At TY_BLM. You have my support. It's not right that this is happening at a time like this. Thought this type of shit only happened in the 1950s. There's more like these, packing my previously empty inbox. If people saw this and believe me, maybe tonight they'll see what we have to say and believe us too. At D Likes Tunes. Thank you. We have. We're going back there tonight to stop them. I tweet. At Nina K77. Maybe Chiamaka was right. Maybe we could defeat Nevaeh after all. My phone buzzes and the message from my mom pops up. Love you too. Hope you had a good sleep. Ma. Why didn't you wake me up? I text back. I know you haven't been going to school. We'll talk later, okay? Love you, Vaughn. Ma knows I haven't been going in. Does she know about Nevaeh? Does she have a special bullshit detector turned up to full? Either way, it means I'm going to have to come clean. If today goes well, it'll be a lot easier to explain. I hope it goes well.